if you've been trying all the things that used to work in your 20s to lose weight, like adding more cardio, jumping on a restricted fad diet, whatever it may be, and it's not working, then this episode's for you, because we're going to dive into weight loss mistakes that women make in midlife and why those things aren't working anymore. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee. Let's get into it.
Let's do this.
I feel this in my soul, this topic, because I swear to you, unless I have amnesia, if I needed to lose like 10 pounds, maybe like in my up into in my 30s, I could do it in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, if you put your mind to it and you really white knuckle it.
No. I mean, when I was in my 30s, I could lose 10 pounds. I didn't have to white knuckle anything. I just change a few things, boom, weight would be off.
You said in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I would just...
I don't know if I agree with that. That's a lot of weight in 2 weeks. You're like cutting weight for a fighter.
But it was probably... Because it's like a combination of things, right? If you were eating terribly, because you do, back then you didn't care, and then suddenly, so you feel puffy, your digestion's off, whatever, then you restrict all the way back, probably like 1,000 calories. Then I would do 2 hours of cardio, and then it would just come off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would do the crazy things that you're not supposed to do. I'm not saying I did the right things.
Yeah.
And then the scale would go off. Whether it was real weight loss, no. But the perception was that it was so much easier.
That's true. I mean, you could be peeling off a lot of water too.
Like
as
back
well.
then, 10 pounds wasn't scary for me. 10 pounds now would be like, dang, I'm going to have to put in some serious work over the next 4 months to get this off.
Yeah.
That's how I would feel.
Real weight loss.
Because for one, yes, we know what real weight loss is.
Real weight loss. Not water weight, fat weight.
Yeah.
There's
and
a
for
difference.
two, there's a lot of things that change. And those things that we used to do in our 20s are actually making it worse for people who try to do those same things now, because you're not resilient like you were before. And I'm going to explain what those extreme measures are actually doing to you now. So it's going to be good. Before we get into that, though, if you have not already subscribed to our channel, subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And also, you guys haven't mentioned in a while, but we have a membership site here on YouTube. If you join our membership, you're part of our inner circle. You get after shows of every podcast. We do a weekly show called Off Topic that's live on Wednesday mornings. It's a lot of fun, very small, like intimate group. And, we dive into all kinds of things. That's why it's called Off Topic. So if you want to join the channel membership, it's only $6.99 a month. Like I said, you get an after show after every episode that's kind of like a little more in-depth, little BTS type stuff. And then you get the weekly Off Topic. So make sure you join. And follow us on Candidly_with coffee on Instagram as well if you want to see what's going on Instagram. Now, let's get into it. So we're going to talk about why old school dieting and restrictions fail in midlife, and, your metabolism, and muscle loss is at play here too. So it gets interesting when you start to think about like what didn't work. Did you have issues when you were younger, and then is it harder now for you?
No, actually it's not. The reason is because I know macros. I know how to track. I know my body now. I know what works and what doesn't. So actually, it's actually easier for me now than it was when I was younger. Now, as a teenager, I couldn't gain a pound to save my life. Why? I walked all over San Francisco where I grew up. So I got probably 20,000 steps a day. I played basketball for hours. I was always outside. That was a different era that we come from, where I was outside versus today's kids. So for me, I didn't, as a teenager, even my early 20s, no, I didn't have a hard time. But now, I don't have a hard time because I know exactly what to put into my body.
Yeah.
I got that dialed in. And I'm enjoying the foods that I love too as well, which makes it fun.
Yeah. Well, the issues with specifically for women who they used to do those things that were not good, right? Extreme calorie restriction. The minute they want to lose weight, I know because I did this, right? Extreme calorie restriction and lots of cardio. That was kind of like the recipe for how to lose weight quickly, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, that's what we did. But the problem, if you're trying to do that in midlife and when you're hormones are impacted, your estrogen's low, your progesterone, you're maybe in perimenopause or even menopause. Those types of measures are stressors on the body. It impacts your stress levels because it is a stressor, but in your 20s, you're more equipped to handle that kind of stuff. Like when you go out to the clubs 4 or 5 times, even on a work night, you still can get up and go to work.
Right.
You just
Bounce
can
back.
handle those types of stressors better. You're more optimized at that level with your hormone levels, and your cells are younger and they repair quicker. Time is on your side back then.
That's you said it best right there. Time's on your side. Right now, it's not on our side. And Father Time is undefeated for both men and women, period.
Yeah. And the other thing is, many people don't realize this because maybe they don't feel like they've changed. Maybe there's a woman that she's never done strength training, which is not uncommon. A lot of women, they've never done strength training. They either do like classes or cardio or nothing at all.
Yep.
So what has happened that you don't even realize is over time, you're losing muscle because you're not even thinking about that because you didn't realize you had much muscle to begin with because you never focused on your muscles. You didn't care. So you're not thinking there's a change, but there's a literal body composition change. If you have not been someone in your 20s and 30s that targeted protein and strength training, you're losing muscle. You're becoming less active, you're moving less, and you're losing muscle. Do you know what that means? A slower metabolism.
Big time. Way slow.
Yeah. So those same calories, let's just say, let me put it in perspective for you. If, say, when you were 25 years old, every time you wanted to lose 5 pounds, you would go on a specific protocol. You ate the same thing every day for 2 weeks, and then you did an hour cardio a day, and like clockwork, you would lose your 5 pounds. Now, fast forward 20 years later, if you do that same thing, the 5 pounds doesn't come off. Why is that? Because you don't have the metabolism you had 20 years ago. Why is that? Because you've lost lean muscle. You may be the same size. You may look even kind of the same in the mirror, but your metabolism is slower because with less lean muscle, your metabolism's slower. So those calories don't work anymore. Maybe those calories are maintenance calories now. They're not deficit.
And that's why we emphasize you must strength train. You must build muscle because the more muscle you have on your physical body, the faster, more efficient your metabolism becomes. And people don't realize that. They think it's the opposite. I must do endless hours of cardio. That does not work, people. Mm-mm. You're burning off precious muscle. Think of muscle like this. Muscle's like gold. It's worth a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It's worth a lot of money on your body. To lose it, it's hard to get it back, especially for women. Men, it's hard for men to get it. Harder for you guys, twice as hard to get it, to build muscle. The fight uphill is a harder battle than us. Because why? We have a thing called testosterone. You guys do too, but very little bit compared to us.
I kind of off topic, but not really. I was watching something on Instagram, and there was a doctor speaking to doctors at a menopause conference to doctors.
Yeah.
Yes. And he was telling doctors, you need to be prescribing your women patients testosterone.
Yes.
It is the one hormone, the single hormone that for whatever reason, doctors aren't practicing replacing when it is lower in a woman.
True.
They'll replace everything else. They'll fix the thyroid. We'll get synthetic thyroid hormones. They'll fix the estrogen, the progesterone, all that. But testosterone, oh no, we're not going to give you that because it's normal to be in the tank on testosterone.
What's crazy about these doctors of today is they're so anti, even for men. It's like pulling teeth. They will not prescribe TRT. They'd rather you have low levels of testosterone. They'd rather you feel mentally in the dumps. But they'll give you everything else. God forbid you have an injury. Oh, yeah, we'll prescribe you all the pain pills you need.
But they just don't. It's what in the topic of what we're talking about is that they just don't, for women specifically, though.
Yes.
For testosterone, it's not common practice.
No, you're right.
And their answer is, it's normal for you to be low. Well, it's also normal for a postmenopausal women to have low estrogen. It doesn't mean you don't replace it. They'll replace it. No problem. Okay, sure. Here's the cream. Here's the but the testosterone. Oh no, they just have this block. And this summit that I was watching, it was a doctor talking to other doctors saying, "Hey, prescribe your patients testosterone. They need it. They need it just as much as men need it.
Yes,
they need it for their mental health, their energy, their libido, their vivaciousness, their longevity. They need it for muscle mass, for so many different things. So take the blinders off. There's no reason not to prescribe it. It's not like you're prescribing it like for muscle, like a bodybuilder. It's a tiny bit just to bring you back to normal.
That's what I think. I think maybe they think like they're prescribing like you're going to go compete or something or step on stage. No. Women just want to feel normal. They want to build some muscle.
And the reason I bring that up is because that could make a huge difference in your ability to be able to shift your body composition and lose weight in midlife is a little bit of testosterone. No side effects. I take a tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
You know how much it is. Do you know how much?
Yeah, you take 0.4. So a contrast, mine is 0.75 of a cc. You take 0.4 of a cc. 0.4, very little bit. Just
Once
a little microdose.
Yeah,
it's a little microdose.
Bit,
yes.
Once a week. And I don't have any viralization. I don't have any nothing. I didn't get acne, nothing. No side effects. So
neither did I.
So, but I was able to change my body composition in this past year. I went from 27% body fat down to 20% body fat, so it's crazy. It does help. It makes it so you're not killing yourself in the gym. You put forth some effort, you're going to see the results of that effort without like killing yourself.
And let's call it what it is. You're almost 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like time's definitely not on your side. We're on the other side of the spectrum now. So definitely works 100%.
Yeah. And so you think about it. So your weight loss efforts obviously aren't going to feel the same because in your 20s, you have optimal hormone levels, right? So when your hormone levels change, that's going to also impact your body, the way your body stores fat. And also when your hormone levels are changing and lower, your stress is higher. You're less able to manage that stress. And your body loves to store belly fat, but it doesn't like to dip in and burn belly fat. So it throws off the way you store body fat. I know we've talked about that before. So it's kind of like, so say you go crazy for the holidays. Okay, so you just, YOLO, and you gain 10 pounds for the holidays.
Yeah.
If you're a midlife woman and your hormones are low, chances are that 10 pounds is going to concentrate in your abdomen. And here's the kicker. When you go to lose that body fat, especially if you're using your old ways, you're going to lose it in the form of fat that's in other areas plus lean muscle. So now you're left with skinnier legs, maybe a skinnier face, not the places you want it, a pudgy belly, and you're more frail looking. You see how now, because you put it on in your stomach for the holidays, it doesn't mean that when you go to take it off come January, it's not going to come off your stomach.
Yeah.
Because your body wants to store it there, but it wants to keep it there. That's midlife weight gain for you.
It works the same for men. He loves to go there too. Same place.
And if you don't believe me, if you do not believe me, very easy to figure this out. Go to an old folks home. I used to work at like a senior living kind of center. Look at the bodies of these ladies. They're usually like skinny little legs, skinny little arms, but they're kind of pudgy in the middle. That's so a result of that. That's what that is.
I mean,
because your body will take it off everywhere else, but not the stomach.
That kind of happened to my mother. Her legs got kind of skinny towards end of life.
Yeah,
her weight was in her midsection. That's where she was carrying the bulk of her weight.
Yeah. So how do you prevent that? That's why you're watching this show. Hopefully, you prevent that by losing weight in the correct way. So when you go to lose the weight, you're going to eat protein, you're going to strength train, and you're going to be in a modest calorie deficit. You fast fat loss, say goodbye. It's gone. You can't lose weight rapidly when you are older. If you lose weight rapidly when you're older, it is not where you want it to come from. It is in the form of lean body mass and body fat elsewhere. It's not going to come off your belly. You want it to come off your belly, you got to do it correctly. Conservative calorie deficit, eat your protein and strength train, skip the HIIT. We've talked about this before. Skip the HIIT classes, skip the fitness classes and the aerobics and all that. Skip that. Do your steps, do your strength training, eat your protein, stay consistent with your calorie intake, and it's going to come off the stomach. So I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. It will, but you have to do it correctly. You can no longer afford to do those extreme drastic measures you did when you were in your 20s.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It's all about just being consistent, being patient, because it's not going to happen overnight, and copy, rinse. Copy, paste, rinse, repeat, and that's it. And people don't want to do it. It's just the basics. It really is just the basics. And like you said, target protein by eating the food you love, and just every day get some steps in and strength training. You'll see. It'll come off eventually.
Yeah. Let's take a little break for Quints and MegaFit meals. We'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by Quints. And I have to tell you, I'm in my quality era right now, and Quints is exactly what I needed. Look, I used to be all about designer labels, even when the quality was, let's just say, not great. But now I'm way more focused on investing in pieces that actually feel amazing, hold up, and are worth my money. And that's where Quints comes in. They've got the most beautiful, high-quality clothes. We're talking about luxe fabrics, timeless styles, and shockingly good prices because they skip the crazy markups. And it's not just clothes. I'm about to redo my entire bedroom with their gorgeous linen bedding. And I already know it's going to feel like a fancy hotel at home. So if you're ready to upgrade your wardrobe and your space with pieces that actually last, do yourself a favor and check out Quints. You can thank me later. Scan the QR code on the screen or head to the link in the description. It's bit.ly/Janine E. That's bit.ly/Janine E to shop Quints today. Hey everyone, you know I'm all about making life easier while staying on track with your health and fitness goals, and that's why I love MegaFit Meals. MegaFit Meals is your go-to for macro-friendly meal prep that tastes amazing. Whether you're crushing your fitness goals or you just want a convenient way to eat clean and delicious meals, MegaFit has you covered. They've got everything from high-protein favorites to keto-friendly options and everything in between. Plus, the meals come perfectly portioned, ready to heat and eat, saving you time and stress. And the best part, you can save on your orders by using my code, JEANINE at checkout. Head over to megafitmeals.com and check it out. Don't forget to use my code, JEANINE, because when life gets busy, MegaFit Meals keeps you on track. All right, you guys, now let's talk specifically what are the biggest mistakes that people make. So if you're trying to lose, say, that holiday weight gain, sorry, I got to hold my glasses. I was telling Mike I need one of those glasses with the old school.
Ladies weren't, yeah.
Or men too. On a stick.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Someone want to send me one of those? I think I got to find one maybe on Amazon. Anyways, so the biggest mistakes, for one, eating too little. Eating too little, it's a huge stressor on the body. You're going to lose lean mass if you're in a big calorie deficit. It's not going to be the weight loss that you want, but it's all people know. It's all people know. I feel like immediately they want to go to, I'm just going to eat 1,200 calories or 1,000 calories.
Starve themselves. Your body's not dumb. It's not going to work. It's going to power down.
And because if you really stick to it, if you really do it, and eat, say, 1,000 calories a day, over a long period of time, it's going to slow down your metabolism. So suddenly, it's not going to be an effective 1,000 calories a day. But here's the thing. Most people don't really do it. They don't stick to it. What happens most often is they eat 1,000 calories, 1,000 calories, 1,000 calories, then like 4,000 calories because they lose their shit.
They break. That's why the New Year's crowd, it's kind of messed up, but people make fun of them. I think Dana White said it, like by that first Friday, by first week of New Year's resolution day, people are already quitting, that fast. They already gave up.
So the solution is you got to find your sweet spot. What is a small, like conservative calorie deficit? And what do I mean by that specifically? I like to give you guys specifics. I hate when people give generalizations on shows sometimes. Well, it kind of depends on how much weight you have to lose. So if you have a lot of weight to lose, the rate of loss can be faster. So I like to say 1% of your body weight weekly is the maximum you should lose. So obviously, if you have a lot of weight to lose, that number is going to be higher than someone, say like me. So say like me, say I'm 120 pounds. The most I would ever want to lose in 1 week would be, what is that, 1.2%. 1.2 pounds.
That's
the
it.
most I would
Max.
ever want to lose. That would be hard for me, by the way. That's creating a significant deficit. Now, I wouldn't be able to even handle that. But that's the max that you would want to lose. 1% of your body weight weekly. So if you are 250 pounds, 2.5 pounds a week. That is a conservative pace. That's a good pace to ensure that you're losing body fat and not muscle. And if you are combining your if you're losing 2.5 pounds a week and you're eating your protein goal, whatever your goal is, and you are doing strength training, then well, I'm eating my protein and I'm doing strength training. So that means this weight on the scale, it's good weight. This is body fat.
Yeah.
And that's how you know that.
That's why the larger the machine, the more they can lose. Because sometimes people will ask, how much weight you think I can lose in X amount of time? Well, I don't like to give you an answer because I don't know. I don't know how consistent you're going to be. I don't know how many steps you're going to get in. If you follow the blueprint, it's possible you could lose your 300 pounds. You could possibly lose 3 pounds a week. That's not 12 pounds a month. That's not unattainable. You lost at your heaviest. What were you losing? You said 10 pounds?
But at my heaviest, I wasn't using I was doing the things you do in your 20s, right? I was doing the extremely low calories because I was 220 pounds. 1,200 calories was too low for me.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I ate.
So what would you, let's go back. Let's talk about that.
But do you remember what I looked like after I lost it? In the pictures, skinny fat.
Yeah, you were skinny. Even when I first dated, you were skinny.
Skinny, frail.
What would you, if you can go back to that time, right now as a coach, knowing what you know, what would you put your 220 pound self on, like macro wise? Just curious.
Oh, I would have been like 1,700.
1,700?
Mm-hmm. I'd have been like 1,700 calories.
How many grams of protein?
I would have probably targeted like 125 grams of protein.
Really?
Because I would be like basically like a gram of protein per pound of my goal body weight.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought you'd want to do more to be a little more full.
I mean, the minimum. So when I set a protein, that's the minimum. That's the bottom.
I get what you're saying.
That's the bottom. Because you know that if you at least have that, you are feeding the muscle you currently have.
That's true.
Which means you're not going to lose it.
Yeah.
You're less, not going to say not going to lose it. You are, when you lose weight, you're always going to lose a little lean mass.
Everybody does, even men.
Okay. Because you don't need as much lean mass to support a smaller body. You're going to lose it. It's just part of the process. The key, if doing this correctly, is to keep the ratio like 70% body fat loss, 30% muscle loss, and no more than that. But I would have probably been, and realistically, do you want to know how much protein I was probably eating?
Yeah, because 1,200
I
pounds.
didn't eat protein bars, no protein shakes.
No.
I was probably getting 40 grams of protein a day.
Wow.
40, 50 grams max.
Wow.
And my body reflected that. It was very frail. My hair was thin and you could see through it. It was so thin.
You were tough to do that. I can only imagine how hungry you were and how you white knuckled it a lot.
Oh, I white knuckled
Yes,
that.
you did.
Because you know my appetite.
Oh.
So the other biggest mistake that people make that they maybe used to do in their 20s is too much cardio. Don't even do cardio. A step goal is sufficient. And if you're a midlife woman and you want to make sure like you're getting the cardiovascular benefits, a weighted vest is really good because you get the weight bearing on your walks. You're going to burn a little extra calories. It's good for the bones, good for the heart. But you don't need to do tons of cardio or run. Don't do that. You're actually putting more of it's a stressor on the body.
Yes.
You're going to burn muscle.
Facts.
That's what you're going to do. You're going to burn muscle.
Before you burn fat, you're going to burn muscle.
Yeah, because if you're high intensity cardio does not convert stored body fat into energy. Sorry. It uses glycogen. And when you run out of the glycogen in your muscles, and you will because you're on an extreme calorie deficit, when you're doing all the wrong things, guess how your body makes the glycogen with your muscle?
Breaks it down.
So it's not going to, again, it's not going to go for that belly fat you're trying to get rid of. It's going to go for that nice little bicep you're trying to build. It's going to go bye-bye. So it doesn't work. It does not work. Stop chasing the calories burned.
And let's be honest. I'm gonna say it right here. Now, I like to walk. And on my walks, I encounter people who run, men and women. And when I see these people running, when I'm looking at them, they look absolutely effing miserable. Their posture's horrible. They just look like they're struggling, like they're hating. And I'm like, why are you even doing? I want to stop them and say, just walk. Don't run. I could tell you're hating this. You're trying to run your weight off. It's not going to work. Because guess what? You're going to go home and probably eat like you used to, maybe a little less. And you're just trying to cheat yourself. And that's it.
To be honest, in my experience, when people do that rigorous exercise to try to lose weight, they actually end up eating more because for one, you're hungrier.
True.
And for two,
so true.
You overestimate how much calories you burn.
Yes.
And so in your head, you're like, ooh, you know what? I could get away with a little more today. I exercised. You'll reward yourself for that exercise, that rigorous exercise all day long.
And these apps fool you. They have somewhere where you put in the app because someone asked me, should I put in my workout and how much cardio I do so it allows me to eat more? No, people. No.
It's the worst.
No.
Thank God our client app does not have that feature.
No.
It is the absolute worst thing. So I want you guys, if you're listening right now, this is your nugget of the episode. If you are using like MyFitnessPal or a tracking app that adds back in the calories that you burn during exercise, turn that setting off. Go into your settings, turn it off. Do not do that. Do not do that.
No.
You're not doing yourself any favors. You're going to eat yourself right out of a calorie deficit.
Easy.
Do not do that. I fell for that 2 years ago. All right, you guys, let's take a little break and we'll be right back. Hey everyone, I wanted to take a minute to talk about something that has truly been a game changer for Mike and I. HRT and peptides from Transcend. If you've been following our journey, you know that we're all about thriving, not just surviving, especially at 49 and 50 years old. Thanks to Transcend, we're looking and feeling our absolute best. Their personalized approach to hormone optimization and peptides has helped us boost energy, improve recovery, and stay on top of our game. And here's the best part. You can experience the same transformation. Transcend offers customized treatments designed just for you. Whether it's hormone balance, better sleep, or more energy, they've got you covered. Are you ready to get started? Use our exclusive link, transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite. Book your consultation and take advantage of a 15% new patient discount. Don't wait. Your best years are still ahead, and transcendcompany.com can help you. Head to transcendcompany.com/ESCOElite today and take the first step toward looking and feeling your best. Trust me, you won't regret it. Okay, guys, so I have to tell you about my favorite supplement brand. If you're not new here, you know it's 1UP Nutrition. This is probably the only time in my entire life that I've been this consistent with my supplements. And let me tell you, it's been a game changer. Their Gut Health Plus and Daily Cleanse have completely transformed my digestive health. I feel amazing and I'm never bloated. And don't even get me started on their protein powders, from the refreshing lemon Italian ice clear protein that I add to my yogurt pretty much daily these days, and their peanut butter cookie iso protein powder. I mean, their flavors are absolutely delicious. It's like having a treat while staying on track with your goals. If you're ready to level up your nutrition and try supplements that actually work and taste amazing, you're going to love 1UP Nutrition as much as I do. Just head over to oneupnutrition.com, use code Janine at checkout for a discount, and try some of my favorites and start feeling your best today, because your health deserves the best, and so do you. The other mistake, before we get into like some solutions that people make, is because we don't even think about these things when we're younger. So when you're older, you can't ignore the impact of stress, sleep, and your mental health on your ability to lose weight. Those are huge factors, period, but they're even bigger when you're older. You cannot out diet and out exercise poor sleep and poor mental health.
No.
You can't.
Facts.
Stress management and sleep are critical for successful weight loss. They're very, very important, like top of the list. If you're like it, I had a conversation with a client recently where she wanted to she's been having periods of high stress and she wanted to kind of add a bunch of things in. And I'm like, you know what? No, that's not a priority. Yes. And exercise is good, but it's not always good. And right now your main focus is we got to bring your stress levels down. It's stress management and sleep, and let's get your eating under control. And then we layer back in your workouts, or we layer in the workouts when necessary. Because if you're running high stress and you're already short on time and you're like, oh my God, I got to get a workout in. The benefits that you're going to get from that workout that's setting you over the edge, stress-wise, and going to wind you all up, and you were already stressed before, is not going to outweigh the benefit of not properly managing your stress. You're better off taking a self-care night, take a hot shower, light a candle, do some meditation, some journaling, actively bring your cortisol levels down. Your workout the next day will be better for it.
People overlook the importance of sleep. Mm-hmm. I say this. I was just about to do a video on this. What you said is we cannot fix your physical health before you fix your mental health. The mental health is everything. And by having poor mental health is poor sleep. You're talking to a guy who did that, who had extremely poor sleep because of the things I was doing that was keeping me up. And it transcended into my behavior. I did not want to go to the gym. I wanted to eat more. So fix your sleep before anything. Get it under control. Do what we do. If you have a hard time falling asleep at night, get a Kindle or book. I swear it's like medicine for the brain. Mm-hmm. God, reading. I did that during my incarceration because it was loud sometimes and whatnot. And you're trying to just calm your mind down, and it helped me go to sleep every night. I always read 30 minutes before you get to bed. It puts your mind at ease.
It's like my security blanket. You know that I keep my Kindle on my nightstand. And it's my security blanket because I know no matter what, even if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can grab that and read it and it'll put me back to sleep. Because luckily for me now with progesterone, that really does not happen. But lucky. There was a time when if I woke up in the middle of the night, I'm screwed. 2 to 3 hours, I would be tossing and turning, and reading is the only thing that works. The only thing that works. All right, you guys, now I want to talk about, let's go into 5 things. 5 steps to successful weight loss in midlife. We're going to take it from the top. Number 1, protein. Step 1 is focus on protein and strength training. Protein. So how much protein? I mean, like I just said, you can kind of ballpark it and think okay, at the very minimum, target a gram per pound of the goal weight that you're trying to get to. But know that you can eat more than that. Just target protein. That's the minimum, but you can shoot for the stars, and you can eat more as long as you are not over consuming calories. So protein, and then strength training 3 to 4 times a week, 30 minutes to 60 minutes per workout, strength training. Those 2 things should be non-negotiable in a fat loss journey.
Non-negotiable.
Because if you're not doing those 2 things and you're trying to lose weight, you are losing muscle, you are not losing body fat. That ratio I was talking about earlier, the 70-30, it's going to be more like 30% body fat, 70% muscle. That's a problem. That's a longevity problem.
Yeah, you don't want to mess up your metabolism either by doing that.
That's a longevity problem, though, for living. The other thing is step 2 is do not cut your calories too low, just a slight deficit. So how do you know that? I mean, if you're not working with a coach, kind of use a macro calculator. I have on my website, you can go to JennineEscobar.com. There is at the top a free macro calculator. It's a ballpark, okay? It's a ballpark. It's not human eyes looking at your stuff. It's not a coach's calculation, but at least it's something to go off of.
It's
Then
a
what
start.
because what I would recommend is plug your information in, get your data, try that, be 100% consistent with it so that you have good data. See how much weight you lose that week. If you lost weight, it's a deficit for you. Did you lose too much weight? It's too low for you. Not enough weight, it's too high for you, and adjust accordingly. Or you can work with a coach, you can work with one of us. We have programs. If you're on my website,
Yes, we do.
If you're on my website, you can explore that as well. But in all reality, you can go and at least get a starting point so that you can, start somewhere, because you're not going to be able to go very far if you don't.
Don't wing it. It's not going to work, people. Do not wing it.
Okay. Step 3 is prioritize hormonal health. I mean, if you're serious about changing your body composition, feeling good, longevity, Mike and I, we use Transcend. We work with them. And if you scan the QR code that was on the screen, there's a 15% off discount for new patients. Get your hormones checked. Get a full comprehensive panel. Check your thyroid, check your hormones, and speak to a wellness specialist at Transcend and see what they recommend. Talk to them about how you're feeling and what your goals are. If you want a faster track towards reaching your goals, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, it's a game changer for the both of us.
Yeah, not only hormones, but also they have peptides, hundreds of peptides.
Oh, yeah.
To enhance the journey it's like tools. Nothing is a shortcut. Nothing is like magic, a genie in a bottle kind of thing. But it's tools that are going to help you reach your goals faster. So if you're serious about really optimizing your health and your appearance in midlife, then I would recommend it.
1,000%.
I would definitely recommend it.
Yes.
Because we do it. So why wouldn't we recommend it?
Exactly.
The other thing is, like I said, manage stress and sleep. So poor sleep, higher cortisol, more cravings. You're going to eat more. You're going to move less. It just impacts everything in your life. So you have to focus on sleep. Now, if you work on your hormones, it's going to fix your sleep. If you are not wanting HRT or you are not a candidate for HRT, maybe Transcend has some peptides that you are comfortable taking that have, less side effects or whatever, and that can help with sleep also. I know you're on a peptide that really helped you with your sleep.
Yeah. Testosterone. And it doesn't have to be injectable either, people. They have lozenges as well for some people who are afraid of needles.
And lastly is be patient. Be patient. It's not a fast process. It's not going to be a fast process. The fast process that you perceived when you were younger is probably because you were doing it wrong. You were losing muscle and all you cared about was the scale. And you probably back then thought, I don't know why I can never get my body to look like I want it to look like. It's because you were doing it wrong then. But even if it still was easier then, you still can't do that. You can't do that now. It doesn't work in midlife.
That's why people are failing. They're impatient.
So what are you going to start this week? What are you going to do that's different? Because if you're watching this, what you're doing right now is not working. What I can tell you, my biggest advice to you is stop spinning your wheels. If what you are doing is not working, you are not doing the right thing. So why do you keep doing it?
Because they're living on blind faith. They hope something's going to work when it's not.
So, it's kind of like the definition of insanity, right?
That's what it is. Doing the same thing over and over.
Yep.
Expecting different results or an outcome. It's not going to happen. Doesn't work.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do that's going to be different? What are you going to do that's, so that you can actually start making some serious progress to your goals? I want to know. Comment down in the comments. And on the next episode, you guys, we're going to talk about how to get out of your own way and stop self-sabotaging. It's going to be good. So set your notifications and we'll see you on the next one.